This video is all for you Canadians out there. The churchyard down there is distinguished by the tomb of Captain George Vancouver, of the Royal Navy explorer, who was buried here in May 1798. He discovered the island off the west coast of Canada, which was named after him. On his return to England, he settled in Petersham, taking a cottage in River Lane, called the Glen, and that's where he wrote his Voyage of Discovery. And that, dear Canadians, is over there. That river there is the Thames. To the right is Richmond, to the left Ham, Petersham, Kingston, Hampton Court, Winter Castle's over there. You can kind of see the view, it's all rather nice. And this is one of these viewpoints. Just straight down there, about half a mile, would be Richmond Town Centre. Just in case you want to come here by yourself. Basically, if you're in Richmond Town Centre, you just go up Richmond Hill, and then you would then, well, keep going really, and you'll come to where we are now. So, in fact, this isn't just for the Canadians, it's for all of you. Okay, the last video was for, well, mostly the Canadians, but this one is for those just south of Canada in the USA. In the early 18th century, the view from this terrace reminded William Byrd, an American tobacco planter, of a similar view near his home on the James River in Virginia. Of course, named after Queen Elizabeth I. James after James the Sixth. Right. Virginia, USA, and inspired him to name the new city founded on that river in 1737 Richmond. So just on the off chance there are those of you watching this video who are from Richmond in Virginia, USA, or have lived there, or anything to do with it, the name, as of course as in lots of names in the USA and other places, comes from the Richmond where we are now. How about that? See, I tell you, amazing. Anyway, oh, my friend Tom's been waiting too long for me. Gotta go, bye. If you need to read that, just put this on pause. We are entering one of London's most fantastic parts. We're not in central London. We're in Richmond, which is about 8 or 9 miles southwest of central London. Lovely park, and lots of deer here. There's about 800 deer here, and as you can tell from that sign, it seems that a few of them might be becoming mothers anytime soon. But anyway, and yes, so dogs need to be off leads. For some of you, maybe you're more familiar with the word leashes. Dogs must be off leashes, but here it's dogs must be off leads. And Leeds not being, the city in north of London, or Leeds Castle, which of course is in Kent anyway. Bye. Okay, it seems this is pretty serious actually with these deer. In fact, not too many months ago, a fellow was on his bicycle. There is a speed limit of 20 miles an hour for everybody here, but of course typical cyclist just ignores the rules anyway, and was speeding and made contact with a deer actually. I don't know if the deer did it, deliberately hit the cyclist, or it just somehow happened. Anyway, the bloke ended up with it was like a broken leg or pelvis or hip or something. I mean, it wasn't just a scratch. I mean, he had to be taken out by ambulance. So yeah, I guess you want to try and avoid these deer if they're in a certain mood. Lou's over there. I didn't know that. All right, bye. And here's proof of the many cyclists that, of course, think the law doesn't apply to them and they can do what they want. And even though there are warnings up right now saying that some of these deer can get spooked by cyclists, especially those deer that have just given birth, and some of these deer can get a bit antsy. Talking of which, there we go. Most of these seem to be quite content, just sitting around, munching away. How about that? Look at that. I mean, they just don't seem to care, do they? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 18. There looks to be a baby one there, and maybe over there. Look at that. Beautiful, aren't they? Although if one was, running towards you at 40 miles an hour, I suspect you wouldn't think it was so beautiful. Look at this, you see this fella's right next to the road as well. Let me zoom out here. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, there is a reason why I came to Richmond Park today. And this gives you a bit of a clue. St. Paul's Cathedral, 10 miles. This one here says St. Paul's Vista. Vista View. Okay. Right, there are 13 protected views in London. And that system was first introduced in 1938 and ensures that views of, I believe it's certainly St. Paul's and the other one's the Palace of Westminster, are protected, which means that from certain viewpoints, then no other buildings can come in the way of those buildings and ruin the view. And we're at one of them right now, and I think this is, of the 13, I think this is the one that's furthest out. We're in Richmond Park. According to that thing behind me, we're 10 miles from St. Paul's, which is 10 miles that way. Of course you can't see it, but I think even on a super clear day, you can't see it anyway. I mean, maybe if you have a really good camera or binoculars or something, but certainly not with this phone I'm using. But this is called King Henry's Mound, and so I'm going to make up a video, probably going to take not all 13 I suppose, and then I might as well splice the videos together. And this is the first of them in no particular order, honestly, in no particular order. This is just this one. We're on the west side of Richmond Park, but I'm sure if you were to look for this, I think it's in Waze actually. Just type in King Henry's Mound, and you can kind of see where we are. The road's just over there, and of course with the deer, well, you never know where the deer are going to be. Apparently, I was just reading that when deers are born, the mothers will often hide them in shrubbery to avoid predators such as people, cars, bicycle, and whatever else. So who knows? As we are in the birthing time of year right now, then maybe there's a deer just over there. So if all of a sudden I scream help, it's because the deer is running after me. Okay, bye. Oh, and that's why dogs have got to be on leads. I mean, during birthing season, certainly. Now it looks as though it's going to start to rain. Bye. This is an experiment. You can see it. There's a deer here on this, just there, on this side of the road. I guess he or she was on the other side of the road with the group. But this fella, for whatever reason, or lady, somebody must know, is just there. I mean, obviously knows I'm here, but doesn't seem to care. Well, I wonder how close I could get. I mean, I'm not planning on checking that out, but wow. Holy moly. Look. She, I think it's she got spooked by The cyclists. Look at that. Just doesn't care though. Good Lord. Well, one great thing about walking, of course, is that one sees things that, you know, one simply doesn't see from a car or a bus. How about this? General Bernardo O'Higgins, 1778 to 1842. Chilean statesman, liberator of his country, lived and studied in Richmond upon Thames, 1795 to 1798. Bernardo O'Higgins, Chilean. Well, how about this? Apparently so. Okay, what does that say? That's Spanish. Live with honor or die with glory. How about that? There's a bit more about Bernardo O'Higgins, typical Chilean name, Latin American name there. Here we go. I mean, who knew? I mean, good Lord. So, by the time I've put all these videos together, there'll be a bit of history for those of you from Canada, those of you from the USA, and now those of you from Chile. I actually thought this was a joke at first, but it's not. Bernardo O'Higgins, Riquelme, maybe, where did you get that from? Anyway, according to this, Bernardo O'Higgins in 1818 was named the Supreme Director of Chile. He also introduced great economic and social reforms as well as the Chilean Navy. Good Lord. He died in Peru, Lima, Peru. His 1866 remains were removed to Chile by the Navy that he introduced. Good Lord. Incredible. You know, I've walked along here quite a few times. Never seen that before. This here, that's the Thames down there. We're, according to a sign I just passed, we're 10 miles from Blackfriars Bridge. So from Westminster Bridge, I don't know, maybe 9, something like that. Lots of people out on their boats today, as you can see, and there's Richmond Bridge itself there. And you know, all along here, Richmond's a lovely area. I mean, up there we're just sort of up a little bit, and you get that view of the Thames, and there's lots of places to walk around, lots of bars, cafes, you know, all that type of thing, you know, when things have returned to normal, which they're due to next weekend. But you know, it's a lovely area, lots of green and flowers and blah 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 blah. There's boat trips as well, and no doubt there's some swans around somewhere. Lots of pubs, supermarkets as well, if you like that. A little bit of history as well, but it's just, you know, kind of nice actually. If you're in central London and you want to just get away for the day, right? See a bit of water, a bit of green. I mean, Richmond Park with all the deer, that's just over there. And the other thing, Wimbledon. If you're coming over here from Wimbledon, you don't want to stay in central London, either because it's too far from Wimbledon, 9 miles, or maybe too expensive, quite likely. Then this may not be such a bad area. Wimbledon is probably just, I mean, the actual championship venue itself is probably, I don't know, 2.5 miles, something like that from here. And there's all sorts of hotels around here. Some larger ones, some obviously smaller ones, you know, depending. And I would think they would definitely be cheaper than ones in central London. Yeah, anyway. So yeah, here, a COVID-19 advisory one-way pedestrian system. Okay. So see up here, this is Richmond Bridge now. Up here, go to the left, that's where you go to like downtown Richmond. And if you go up to the right, that's where you can go up to Richmond Hill. And a lot of that green stuff. Okay, so now my mate Tom is Irish, but I bet he didn't know about Bernardo O'Higgins. Good Lord. Director of Chile. Not dictator, no, that's what I looked for. But no, it's a director of Chile. So there's that's Twickenham Bridge down there. I know in a previous video, walked along there. Lots of people out on canoes and paddle boards. All very nice actually. Let's see what sort of view we get from here. Okay, well they're renting, look at that, rowing boat hire, £8 per adult, or daily £20 per adult, children and nurses half price. I mean, normally, you know, we're Sunday, 28th of June, 28th, it's definitely Sunday anyway, because on Thursday we won the Premier League. Normally, you know, all these people would have been a little busier, you know, from about a month or so ago. But of course, all this COVID thing has messed things up a little bit. But things are due to reopen in their entirety. Well, not everything, but mostly next weekend. We shall see. Anyway, so yeah, so there's places to rent boats if you want. I think there are some larger boats actually on trips. Either, I don't know about Hampton, I'm just guessing here, Hampton, Court, Windsor, maybe, because in theory this is the Thames that goes, what earth was that? These cyclists, I tell you, it's just unbelievable that more aren't killed, you know, just incredible. Anyway, yeah, so this is the same river that, you know, goes first into London and out ultimately to the North Sea. Anyway, so that's it from Richmond. I'm just going to go across and take a video from the other side. Okay, here you go, this is the other side, haha. You see, in those buildings there, well, that one on the left is Bicar, your boat clubs, that's where, you know, a lot of these people have got their canoes, they store their canoes in there. London Cornish Pilot Gig Club, Richmond Bridge Boat Club, Richmond Bridge Boathouses, which is why that flag there, which is no longer flying, that's the flag of Cornwall, in the southwest of England. But you can see how this is, a nice pedestrian area, ice cream van there. I mean, you know, it's going to be a bit more expensive. I mean, that fella in the ice cream van's probably had to pay so much for a license for, you know, whenever he or she is here. I've taken clients to that pub down there, but you can walk all along here, you know, and you get, there's Twickenham Bridge down there, and you get the idea. Got to be swans around here somewhere. There's a whole bunch of ducks being fed by someone over there. Oh, this. Oh no. Let's check this out. Lovely jubbly traffic. Doodle-da. Okay. Oh, there's a couple of swans over there. See, right by those ducks. So there's got to be more swans somewhere.